Hey, what's up everyone? Craig here. And this week I finally got around to filming an update of my patch of paradise, which if you subscribe, you know is a tiny tropical styled garden. And if you don't subscribe, you know exactly where that button is. Now there have been so many big changes in my small garden. The stream has gone. It's been filled in, we've got a new path. Every single plant was dug out from the ground and containerized. That's put in a pot. And by growing things in pots, it means that I can grow much more variety of plants. Because if you've been watching my garden evolve over the years, you'll see in the early days that this soil in my garden is heavy, heavy clay soil. And by growing things in pots, I can grow plants that not only love clay soil, but sandy soil, acidic soil. I can really cater to all the needs of a much more interesting variety of plants, which is great. And it also means that if I'm growing it in a pot, every single plant that I grow can be grown by any of you. If you've got a balcony, a windowsill, a small urban courtyard, a small garden, a big garden, it just makes it more flexible, and it means that there's a lot in my garden now that can inspire people with all sorts of sizes of their own patch of paradise. So one of the first things you'll notice is that the stream is gone. With the dog, I let her sometimes on my side of the garden and she just jumped in and got very messy and then would run into the house and get me in trouble. And on top of that, water features are high maintenance, and it was using a lot of space, a lot of real estate in my small garden. And I'd got that out of my system. I'd done it for a couple of years and I fancied a change. So we filled it in, punctured some holes into the lining so that the water can drain away easily. And I've done a path out of Cotswold chipping stones. And that's because I ordered a bulk bag for the dog's side of the garden. And I liked the look of them, and looking over that side of the garden into mine, seeing the contrast between that light coloured stone and the lush jungle foliage just looked really nice. So between my wife and I, we decided that actually I should make a curved path on my side of the garden that weaves from the path that goes to the back gate up onto the deck. And it's just a cool little design feature. Just by giving yourself a choice of two different options to get from one side of the garden to the other, it can make a small space feel so much bigger. So that's why we've done that. And it also gives me a route to go in and maintain plants and water, and without having to clamber over all of the plants, which with the stream and the fence and everything being a mess as it was a real pain. So I'm glad that I have easy access to all of the plants now. So with the garden, I've kind of gone for a curve of pots around one side, and then a central bed that's got the roost tree in that forms the shade casting canopy for me. And I'm going to keep all of the plants around there evergreen and low growing, so that when you walk down the garden path, you always get to enjoy that view across to the far side of the garden, where hopefully year round there'll be interest from evergreen structure and then all the tropical foliage and flowers in summer. Where I'm growing everything in pots, the front pots can be visible. I'm using black pots where I can, and I will recycle those and reuse them as much as possible. But the pots at the front are visible. So I think I'm going to find some nice terracotta pots for those, so that any pots that you can see or that catch your eye will be in a nice ceramic or terracotta planter, just to keep things looking smart and tidy. But as yet I'm undecided on what style of pot to go for. The decking area is a mess at the moment. It was much deeper before we got the greenhouse, but it had to be shrunk so that we could fit the greenhouse in. And I think I'm going to use it as an outside hard standing area for all of the nursery plants. Come the warmer months, or for hardier plants, they can be stored out there up off the ground away from any pests. So I think the plan is going to be to get some trestles and maybe paint them a nice dark colour or a tropical bright colour, so that they fit in with the scheme out there. And like I said, that's where I can keep the trays of nursery stock that will survive happily outside. I love this rusty water bowl. Now, I've got rid of the stream, but it doesn't mean I don't enjoy a water feature. And this bowl is easy to clean, easy to maintain, and over time that rusty patina just gets better and better and better. I've noticed that on hot days it can go a bit stagnant looking, so when I'm watering the plants I just give it a squirt with the hose pipe and it refreshes the water. I have seen people online put those floating solar kind of fountain pumps into these water bowls, and I'm tempted to give that a go in summer because it will keep the water fresh, but it will also add sound to the garden, and sound is something that so many people forget when they're doing garden design. It can be the rustling of wind blowing through reeds, or for me, I love the sound of water trickling. So keep an eye out. I might do something with that water feature in the future, but for now I'm just enjoying it as a water bowl like you see in so many Balinese style gardens. I'll put a link to the water bowl as well down in the description. I got it from Amazon, so if you do buy it using that link, you'll be supporting me, which, as always, I am really, really grateful for. The fences are a bit of a mess at the moment as well, so me and my wife are currently discussing what colours to paint the fence. I want to go for a nice dark colour, maybe a really deep blue or deep purple that will just make those plants pop out. We're toying with the idea of lime green because, well, it'll just look really jungly, but I think the plants might get lost in it, so we'll see. So you'll notice that I haven't gone into detail on plant names in this video. This is intended just as a general update on how my patch of paradise is evolving, but over the coming weeks I will do videos, themed videos, showing you tropical blooms or tropical foliage plants or plants in my garden for shade, or just talking you through my begonia collection, because you probably know I'm getting a bit obsessed with begonias. So the plant names will come as the weeks go by, but if there's one that you've seen in this video that you want to know the name of, comment below with the time code and I'll get back to you and let you know. So there you go. There's a really quick update on my patch of paradise, and it's evolved so many times over the years. It used to have a great big long stream that went all the way down to the house, and then the stream got shrunk and we put a fence through the middle because we got a dog, so we had to adapt as our family changed and grew. And now I've adapted it again because it's not just my patch of paradise. There's a small, what I'm going to call a micro nursery, operating at the back of the garden, and I need it to work in the space that I've got. And I don't want it to look industrial, I want it to look great, and I want the plants to really blend in with the garden when they're set outside on the shelf. So yeah, apparently I like to give myself challenges. Hopefully you like this video, and if you've got any questions or tips or advice, as always, comment below and either me or somebody else watching these videos will get back to you. And give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you don't already subscribe, and don't forget to go and check out the Grow Paradise plant shop. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao!